I'm a mom living with the disease of addiction. Sometimes I feel like I'm living in two realities. The first, where people acknowledge my disease and still treat me like a human being, and the other where I feel immediately judged.
I've been working in this emergency room for over 30 years. When you've been living and working in a small rural community, you get to know a lot of the families and their family history. A lot of these families and children I've been taking care of since they were very little. Sometimes the emergency room is like a revolving door. You see the same people over and over. They use the emergency room for their primary care, but I know it's not really their fault, it's more the system. They just can't fit people in. But sometimes when you keep seeing them, you forget that they have this disease. And then you just feel like everything you're doing is futile and you wonder, what are you doing it for?
I've struggled with addiction for almost half my life. When I first found out that I was pregnant with Lucy, I wanted to do everything I could to make sure that she was born healthy. But it was incredibly hard. My brain was in two different places. One, that I wanted to be a good mom, and the other that was struggling with addiction. It's really hard to explain this to people who don't understand. When I was 30 weeks pregnant, I slipped on some ice in my driveway and fell right on my stomach. I was so scared, so I went to the emergency department.
I do remember the day Jessica came in. It was terrible weather that day. We had freezing rain, people were slipping and falling, there were car accidents, we had lots of trauma, and I was familiar with Jessica. I've known her through the years. I know her history.
When the nurse first asked me if I was taking any medications, I told her that I was taking MAT. I saw her stare at me and at my pregnant belly, and I was mortified. I wanted to get out of there as fast as I could. I wondered if she even believed me. I had told her that my wrist was hurting really badly when I tried to catch myself, and I thought, she must think I'm here only for the medication. Was she gonna call DCYF? At that moment, I really wished that I hadn't told her the truth about taking MAT.
I don't remember exactly how I reacted when Jessica came in, but I do remember what I normally say. When folks come in and share with me their medication that they're on, I actually tell them I'm very proud of them and I thank them for being honest with me. I usually tell these women who are pregnant that they're taking very good care of themselves and their babies, and that it shows me that they really care.
A few weeks later, I found myself back in the ED. I had cut my hand on a knife while making dinner. I've always been a bit clumsy, and with my belly, the knife just slipped and there was blood everywhere. When I went in, I saw the same nurse from a few weeks before, and I thought about turning around and leaving right away. But then she saw me before I could go.
When she returned to clinic, she seemed a little stressed out. So I tried to calm her down by just asking her some simple questions about how things were going, feeling the baby move, and just in general.
This time, she looked at me so differently. She asked if we'd seen each other a few weeks ago. And then she asked how my wrist was doing and what happened today. And her voice was kind when she asked me things like, how I was feeling. Was this my first kid? Did I have a name picked out? Just normal things like that.
She seemed to calm down after we were just chit-chatting and making light conversation. These women are doing the best that they can. Many of them have had traumatic events in their life and are just trying to take care of themselves and their babies. I know I need to gain their trust by listening to them, being honest, and thanking them for coming in and taking such good care of themselves and their baby.
It felt like she looked at me like I was human this time.